So the trailer you guys are seeing on screen is for a brand new first-person extraction shooter being developed by a team of AAA industry veterans. Now, obviously the trailer here is not gameplay. We're going to show the gameplay in just a little bit, but I gotta say, Shrapnel is sounding pretty promising. They have a team of AAA veterans that have worked on games like Star Wars, BioShock, Sunset Overdrive, Rise Son of Rome, Black Ops, Mafia 3, and more. And when it comes to Shrapnel, players are tasked with finding and extracting valuable resources, entering the zone as operators for one of the many factions. Many other operators are also vying for the resources within this zone, resulting in a tense, high-stakes, competitive environment that encourages risk-taking and rewards skill. And I gotta say, watching this trailer here, it makes me kind of excited for what the game is going to be, until you realize what the game actually is. My name is Big Fry. Leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed it and subscribe with the bell set to all so you know exactly when I upload or go live. Thank you guys for watching. Let's get into it. So when it comes to the story around this game, a massive asteroid called 38 Sigma has collided with the moon, causing lunar meteorites to bombard a 500-kilometer wide band around the Earth. The area, which becomes known as the Sacrifice Zone, or the Zone, is left uninhabitable and walled off from the rest of the world. Now, the world is speculating about what is actually being uncovered by teams of paramilitary contractors guarding this area. Rumors swirl of a mysterious material called Compound Sigma that allows quantum mechanic behaviors to manifest in the classical physics realm. Nations and corporations begin assembling their own mercenary extraction forces, or MEFs, to venture into the zone. Chief among them is Valdaka Corp, or V Corp, a company that quickly corners the market on new tech born from these world-changing discoveries. Enter the players, MEF operators battling in the bloody war for control over the zone. Now, that story sounds fucking awesome. Paramilitary contractors going into this zone to try and extract with this rare material to build new tech. The gameplay could be absolutely incredible, right? Wrong. This is the gameplay trailer that was released yesterday. Now, I will say, this game looks weird. It doesn't look bad, but the way that they've made this gameplay, it's super shaky. Now, this is the first multiplayer engine gameplay that we have seen, and it's rough. I will say their environment work looks beautiful, the weapon models look great, but what the hell's with this shaky shooting? It almost looks like a VR title, but it's not. Now, the game is obviously being developed in Unreal Engine 5, and if they don't get rid of this shaky kind of movement camera, it's pretty much dead on arrival. But I will say, I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing here. I see a little bit of potential with what I'm seeing. Obviously, it needs a lot of fucking refinement, and it's nowhere close to even ready to be shown off, but they decided to kind of let people in and see how far they've come. Now, you have a star-studded lineup of developers from all walks of the industry, from HBO to Emmy Award-winning, producers and game developers who have worked on games like Black Ops, and a presentation on their website that rivals that of other AAA studios. The game also features 3 different operator classes, so you have Assault, Survivalist, and what they call an Infosec, each with its own skill-based progression trees, and as players develop their operators, they unlock a range of abilities and specialized equipment to improve the play. Weaknesses in one class can be complemented by strengths in other classes, encouraging dynamic strategies and alliances. Shrapnel's strategic gameplay centers on how players create their loadout from both the gear they've extracted in previous sessions and the equipment that they craft themselves. Equipment ranges from the low-tech, dependable weaponry to the devastating but failure-prone advanced tech of a corporate MEF. As players get to know the strengths and weaknesses of each type of equipment, they can remix gear to kind of customize their loadout, and that includes changing up things like weapons, armor, consumables, and tech. They're also offering things like player-created tournaments and what they're calling enterprising. So enterprising allows players to create their own tournaments within Shrapnel, making the rules, defining terms, and then promoting their events within the game. They also have things like player missions, so all players can participate in goal-oriented missions related to extraction gameplay, content creation, and marketplace participation. Yes, player-created content is key to the Shrapnel experience. They say that their professional grade creator tools, built using the same Unreal tech that we use for the game, will allow anybody to quickly start creating their own Shrapnel content. Now, all of this sounds absolutely incredible, correct? Until you get into the real meat and potatoes of what this game has to offer. Players can outfit their operators with gear to fit their desired playstyle before entering in the zone. Gear in the form of NFTs are dropped on death, forcing players to weigh, constantly shifting odds of success in every choice they make. In addition to the gear dropped by operators killed in action, players can also collect the mysterious compound Sigma. After collecting their loot, players must fight their way to one of several contested extraction locations and survive long enough to escape and claim it as their own. Successfully extracted loot, which are NFTs, are then placed in the player's persistent inventory, which the player uses to build their loadouts for future sessions. Yes, the game is being built on the fucking blockchain. Woo! And it sucks, I'm not gonna lie to you, reading that breaks my heart because everything else that I just said sounds awesome. It sounds like a game that I would actually want to fucking play. But it's tied to the blockchain. It's tied to fucking NFTs. When it comes to player-created content, players can mint their content that they make into NFTs, trade it in the Shrapnel marketplace, and earn rewards based on its popularity. And once we start talking about the NFTs, we start to realize that they're now just throwing things into their white paper that kind of, complement and accompany along that NFT functionality, things like the economy. So you have things like players, so players can buy gear, extract it, and then sell it on the marketplace for Shrap. Then you have creators who can make anything from vanity items to customized weapons, maps, map objects, and then they can profit from the economic value that they create. You have curators who successfully discover great content for the community, and then when they share it, they can also share in the spoils. And then you have landowners, because what's a fucking blockchain game without owning land? I'm surprised Earth 2 hasn't swooped in and bought these guys like they did with Drone. But you have landowners who make an upfront commitment to the ecosystem and they'll receive a fair proportion of the value creation. Whatever that means, no fucking idea. And then you get into the tokenomics. So Shrap will be issued on the ERC20 token and deployed on Avalanche shortly afterward. So unfortunately, we have a game that looks but has a lot of potential and has a really good idea under its belt, being developed by a AAA team with actual credentials under their belt, and they decided to tie it to the fucking blockchain. So this is where we're at. I mean, it literally says that you can create customized weapons as a creator and sell them on the marketplace. Whatever that means, we don't know how deep it's going to go. We just have to go with what we're seeing on their white paper. It breaks my heart because the dev team actually has credentials to create something good, and they decided to tie this to the blockchain. Now, compare this to something like Dr. Disrespect's Dead Drop game. Now, Dead Drop used NFTs to buy into the project. It was basically like a VIP pass. If you bought in, you bought an NFT, that gives you access to the game. At least so far, they haven't mentioned anything about being able to like extract with NFTs, being able to sell stuff on the marketplace with NFTs. They haven't really talked about the blockchain integration into something like Dead Drop. Dead Drop might be looking to do something like what Shrapnel is doing, but we just don't know that yet. Right now, if we were to put both of them side by side, I would say Dead Drop, even though it is tied to NFTs, it isn't ingrained in NFTs, and I think that's where the difference is. Everything about this game, this play to earn mentality, the more you play, the more money you're gonna fucking make, is a bullshit lie. We've seen this idea come up before in previous games, and those games always end up dead because the developers care more about making money, staking things to the chain and creating a token economy around a game that just fucking sucks. Now, Shrapnel doesn't look that great, but it doesn't look that bad. If you go in with a child's imagination, you could definitely see a little bit of potential with what we see here. Granted, it doesn't look great. But when you have a trailer that's sitting for me at about a 4 or 5 out of 10, and then you tell me that it's gonna be integrated with blockchain, for me, that number drops to a fucking 0. I had people send me the trailer. They wanted me to talk about the gameplay itself, but I actually don't know if they knew that it was a blockchain pay to earn, pay to play to own, you know, the bullshit buzzwords that we all see thrown around in this blockchain space. I wish these guys the best, but at the same time, I just don't think it's gonna come to fruition, much like pretty much every other fucking blockchain project that has ever been announced or had a trailer put out. I'm still waiting for Earth 2 to move off the buggy. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm just kinda over this shit already, and we haven't seen a single project actually do something worth a while outside of rug pulling and leaving with as much money as humanly fucking possible. If you guys like the video, please leave a like on it, leave a comment down below. Are you excited for Shrapnel? I highly fucking doubt it, but seeing as it is a slow kind of news month leading up to Modern Warfare 2, not a lot to talk about. I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, this looks interesting, and then I read about it, and it doesn't look interesting anymore. My name is Big Fry. Thank you guys for watching, man, and I'll see you on the next one.